Hello, you wonderful people. No respawns here, so I've got something new for you today. I've made myself, well, and you, obviously, a rather funky-looking water tower. I have an idea, see? I have thoughts, occasionally, anyway. And I realised that most of my builds had an actual function within the game. As in, you know, they're buildings to actually be used by settlers. And I realised there's quite a lot of things I could make that would have real use, kind of IRL, in real life, but obviously can't actually be used in-game. And I hadn't made things like this water tower. For example, like, my settlers aren't actually ever going to use the water tower. However, it looks cool, and it's the kind of thing that you would see potentially in an actual, you know, real-life settlement. So I'm going to try... I don't know how often... You know, I just want to make things like this, because I think it'll be cool. More aesthetic builds that are purely there just to look cool and add a bit of character to your settlement. More decorative builds. Yeah, that's better what I'm saying. Decorative builds like this. This was quite fun to make as well. Actually worked really well. I was quite surprised. This is one of the builds where I actually built it beforehand and then reloaded just so I can show you how I built it, mainly because I wasn't too sure. So this is where, as you can see right now, pretty much kind of straightforward how we've done it. Now, these conduits, the reason for them is because I wasn't really feeling... I wasn't too pleased with just how blank it looked. So that's something that you see me doing quite a lot in this video, is me trying to kind of add a little bit of quirky character to it and kind of maybe give it a little bit more edge. Because it doesn't have enough edge. It actually has no edges because it's smooth. Ha! Ha! Oh. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's alright. It's fine, don't worry about it. The video's over in, like, what, 8 minutes? You can stay at that long. I'll just mute the audio, to be honest. I don't blame you. So I hadn't used these conduits before. And they work quite well. Also, you know, I was rambling at the start, but using the... What do you call it? The stand for the cages. The red player starting point, whatever the fuck it's called. That thing, that red cap on the top. I'm quite pleased with that, because I've never used that before, but I wanted, like, some kind of rounded top, and that worked quite well. I do have to rug glitch it in, and I end up having to take it off, because I end up putting some railings on the top. Spoiler, however, it doesn't take very long, and it's quite easy to get in, so it's grand. There is a little bit that I did have to cut out, and it's just me you'll see me in a bit. I'll show you how to do the actual legs of the water tower, and the way you do it is really, really simple, but you'll see me briefly show, and then I just kind of try and tidy up. But this is one of those builds that you're kind of focusing on getting things completely centered and straight is exceedingly important, because it looks a little bit off. But don't worry, I do fix. I mean, it looks a little bit off actually. But I'll show when I get to it, basically. Surprise. That's a surprise. I mean, it's not really much of a surprise. You basically, I'm putting some floors underneath and then snapping some pillars onto it. But until I show you, you don't 100% know what I mean. So it's fine. It's fine, it's fine. What's it called? A contestant stand. I wasn't reading it. I was lost into, you know, staring at my monitor, to be honest. I leave the monitor on. You could monitor on, God Lord. Leave the mat on, just because if you take it off, the stupid thing is going to sink into the tower too much, and it's going to look stupid, and you can't see it from down there anyway, because like me, you're too short, so it's fine. So this is me just having a little bit of a think to myself on kind of what details I can add to the side. I wasn't 100% sure. And then I just kind of think, oh, you can use these if you like. I opted just to put lights on there, to be honest. I wasn't 100%. These suit it though, don't they? They're a bit of nightmarish, you probably see already, to get them completely straight. But I manage. I suffice, vaguely. I mean, not 100%, obviously, but I get through. We power through, we power through. It's gonna look pretty grand, this. Yeah, I like this. I was quite surprised that it worked. I mean, that's happening a lot with me recently. Things are going well. It's freaking me out. Especially with my builds. It's like, oh, right. Yeah, that works. I'll do that. Now, this is... I'm quite pleased with the legs on this. Because as long as you get it straight, perfectly, and to be utterly frank, I didn't get it straight, because I'm a complete mong. This part's easy. So basically, you just put a scaffolding frame underneath. Now, this one's reasonably straightforward. It's probably hard to see, and I should probably turn my Pip-Boy light on, but I'm a Muppet, so it's fine. What you're doing is you're getting it centered on one side and then centered on the other. I mean, I get this pretty damn straight, I think. I mean, reasonably straight. Well, when I've actually got it in. It's not in yet. All right, calm down. Fuck's sake. It's not straight yet. I do get it straight. I mean, reasonably centered, rather. That's reasonably centered, I think. So you just raise it up. And snap that on. Yay! Clever. Super clever. So you want to raise this up a little bit more. The reason being is because we need to put a platform underneath to enable snappage. This was me being super clever. This is me, you know, clever. I'm quite pleased how clever this was. However, it does backfire quite easily, because if I don't get this completely straight, it looks stupid. However, if you do get it completely straight, it looks grand. I didn't get it completely straight, so it looks fine on one side, shit on the other, but it's fine. I just had to manually redo the pillars, but it's grand. I know you guys won't make my foolish, embarrassing mistakes. So the first mistake I made was that I didn't lower it down enough. You probably want this as low as possible to make it easier for you to see. To the point, actually, now that I'm literally looking at it right now, this would have been significantly easier and much more reliable had I just put the single platform on. You'll see the reason why we're doing this in a sec. So I'm going to snap these. Adjusting the height on the edge. The reason why we're not snapping the ones on the top yet is one, because it's just annoying when it's so high up. And also because when I did it the first time, when I did this part, for some reason the upper level pillars didn't actually go with this. You see, that's literally what you're doing. It looks really good. However, you can see I've not got it completely straight, like completely centered. Now what I end up doing is taking them out manually, putting them in so they're a little bit wonky. I would recommend doing what I didn't do, which is when you put that bottom floor bit in, a part of those 5 small squares, just put one in and then snap those 4 ends on it, because that would allow you to get it completely straight. And I'd recommend maybe putting the pillars on each, like, opposite ends first to just double check that you've got it as centered as possible. So that looks pretty grand. Now we're going to add a few more details. This is afterwards. I have put the pillars on. If you look at the pillars closely, you can see they are a little bit jaggedy. But the thing is, the reason why it was an issue before was because they were actually on the, like, they were too far out, so you could see them clipping off the edge. This is me just thinking of ideas. That's actually potentially something I could have done, was actually put a hopper underneath. I decided to leave in my just kind of fucking around, because I was like, oh yeah, this is a good idea. But yeah, they were a bit too far. However, even though they're a little bit wonky, it looks better like this than it did when they were, like, because they're at least further in to underneath the bowl. Just put a little water pump in. That's not even plugged in. I will plug it in at some point. I just didn't want the noise. But to be honest, this is more just so it looks like, that's where you draw the water from, the water tower, basically. That was my, you know, my weak idea. I don't even really know how a water tower works, to be honest. Aren't they just like reservoirs or something? I don't really know. I don't see the point in these steps, to be honest, as well. It was just adding details on. I just thought, you know what I'm like. You know what I'm like now. I can't just have something vanilla. I have to, you know, quirky it up because I'm a special, unique snowflake. And this is one of those instances, really. Look at that. Ooh. Ooh, suits you, sir. Oh, suits you. And then we just pop some of these on. I should have put a double railing on, maybe, or something in the back. This was me just fucking around. I'll be utterly frank. It's actually built now. I've got some details on, but this was just me just going, I guess I'll do this. I guess I'll do that. So I had to show you the decoration. Just because, you know, my one issue with this was just kind of, right, how do I make this not look so like it's just a piece of concrete floating in the air? I'm pretty pleased with what I've done. You can add details on, decorations, all that jazz. I take that one off because it just looks like shit. Right, so there we go. Looking grand. Looking grand. It's not having a think. Having an emotional moment, actually having no idea. But I go, right, okay, well, let's put some of those wee hanging boys on. Boys? I don't know how to, I think it's just pronounced boys, but I'm not 100%, to be honest. I don't know things. And then we'll just get stuck behind that wall, because whatevs. And then finally it needs a sign. A sign that of something. Plumbing, basically. It needs a plumbing sign. But yeah, no, what do you think? Good? Yes? Grand? Very cool. And I'm going to try to do more builds like this, so they're kind of decorative builds rather than function builds. That's my idea. So there's the tour, looking grand, looking sexy. Very nice, very nice. Hopefully this inspires you to add a few water towers in. I'm definitely going to try and pop these into settlements because it's like, it's just a nice thing that makes the settlement look a little bit more well established. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. As always, follow me on Twitter at norespawns. And I'll have a video up, what, probably tomorrow? And I'll talk to you lovely people soon. You enjoy your weekend.